All right, so get ready to toss out those old boring finance books because today we're diving into Money Honey by Rachel Richards.
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard of this one?
Oh, absolutely. Money Honey. It's a classic.
It's like having this super sassy, straight-talking friend
Yeah.
who just tells you how to get your financial life together.
Yeah, and she cuts through all the BS, the fluff that you get in a lot of those other books.
Totally. And so in this deep dive, we're going to extract all the best advice from this book to help you level up your finances no matter where you're starting from.
Sounds good.
No?
So one of the things that I really appreciate about this book is that Rachel kind of throws out the window all those generic financial tips.
Yeah.
Like the ones you've heard a million times.
Yeah.
And she gives you a personalized plan instead.
Yeah, she calls out that save 10% of your paycheck advice.
Yes.
Come on, who actually does that?
Right, exactly. It's not one size fits all for everyone.
It's not at all.
And so she says that the real magic starts with this concept of your golden number,
Oh, I like that.
which is basically your income minus your expenses.
Okay.
Once you know that number, you can start building a saving strategy that actually works for your situation.
I love that. Okay, so that's the foundation, the golden number.
And exactly. And then she builds on that with her savings bucket system.
Ooh, tell me about those buckets.
Okay, so you have 4 buckets.
All right, I'm ready.
Bucket number 1 is for emergencies.
Emergencies.
That's at least $1,000 to handle those unexpected things that life throws at you.
Okay, like a flat tire.
Exactly.
Right.
Car repairs, medical bills, anything like that.
Okay, got it. What about bucket number 2?
Bucket number 2 is for your short-term savings goals.
Okay.
So anything that you're looking to achieve within the next year.
Like a vacation.
Exactly. A vacation,
Yeah.
a new phone down payment on a car.
Okay, I like it.
And then bucket number 3 is for your long-term savings goals.
Right, so things that are further out.
Exactly. Over a
Okay.
year away.
Yeah, like a down payment on a house.
Yes. A down payment on a house. Maybe you want to go back to school or start your own business.
I like it. Okay.
And then finally, the big kahuna bucket number 4 is for retirement.
Whoa, okay, we're already talking retirement. I like it.
Yes.
All right, so we got our 4 buckets, but how do we actually fill those buckets?
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
Rachel says the order you fill these buckets is crucial.
Ooh. Okay.
Emergency fund first, that's your top priority.
Bucket number 1.
Bucket number 1, got to get that $1,000 in there.
Makes sense.
Then, and this is where it gets kind of different, she says you go straight to retirement savings.
Really?
Even if it's just a small amount, starting early allows compound interest to work its magic over time.
I mean, it makes sense. I guess it's like planting a money tree that grows over time.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah, you got to give it time to grow.
You do.
But okay, sometimes growing your savings feels like watching paint dry.
It can, yeah.
So does Rachel have any advice for speeding up the process?
She does. She has some really creative ideas for boosting your income.
Okay, let's hear them.
So she talks about becoming a Cutco salesperson.
Cutco like the knives?
The knives. Yeah, apparently it can be really lucrative.
Okay, I've never thought about that one before.
Yeah, she also mentions renting out a room on Airbnb.
Oh, yeah, that's a popular one.
It is. And then for the truly dedicated, she even suggests donating plasma.
Ooh, plasma donation. I don't know if I could do that. But hey, if it works, it works.
It's all about finding what works for you and pushing those boundaries.
Yeah, I love the hustle.
Right.
Okay, so we've talked about saving, but what about the flip side of that debt?
Oh, yeah. That's a big one.
It's a big problem.
Yeah. Americans are drowning in almost $1 trillion of credit card debt.
That is a scary statistic.
It is.
So what's Rachel's take on this whole debt situation?
Well, she doesn't sugarcoat anything.
Of course not.
She introduces this idea of tolerable debt versus bad debt.
Okay, I've never heard of that before. What's tolerable debt?
So tolerable debt is when the thing you're financing is going up in value faster than the interest you're paying.
Okay, so if I bought a rare comic book and it skyrocketed in value.
Exactly. That could be considered tolerable debt.
Okay.
But she uses a real-life example from the book where she financed a painting on her honeymoon at this crazy high interest rate.
Uh-oh.
Even though the painting went up in value after she calculated the interest, she realized it wasn't the smartest financial move.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of a purchase
Yeah.
and forget about the long-term implications.
Yeah.
So is she saying that basically all debt is bad debt?
Well, she really pushes you to think differently about those student loans.
Yeah.
Mortgages, personal loans,
Yeah.
things that we often just accept as part of life.
Okay, so debt, not so good. What about credit scores?
Credit scores? Oh, yeah, that's another big one.
Everybody's always talking about those credit scores.
It's like this mysterious number that holds so much weight.
Yeah, and it can unlock so many perks, like lower insurance rates,
Yes.
better job opportunities.
Easier approval for apartments rentals, all of that good stuff.
So how do we boost that credit score?
Rachel breaks it down for us.
Lay it on me.
The most impactful things are your payment history.
Okay, so pay your bills on time.
Pay your bills on time, every time, no exceptions.
All right, got it. What else?
And how much of your available credit you're using.
Oh, yeah, that credit utilization ratio.
Yes, keep that low.
Low, okay.
And then, for using credit cards wisely, she has one main piece of advice.
What's that?
Pay the balance in full every single month.
Every single month.
Don't let any of that interest accrue.
Okay, no exceptions.
No exceptions. And she even talks about how she earned a $500 travel credit just by strategically using her credit card and racking up those rewards.
Wow, so it's possible to make credit cards work for you.
It is.
Not against you.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've tackled saving, we've talked about debt, we've talked about credit. Let's get into investing.
Okay.
So what's Rachel's investing philosophy?
Well, she drops a truth bomb right off the bat.
Hit me with it.
Stocks are better than bonds, period.
Whoa, okay, that's a bold statement.
It is.
But why are stocks better than bonds?
Well, she's all about playing the long game and maximizing returns.
Okay.
And historically speaking, stocks which represent ownership in a company have outperformed bonds over the long term.
Okay, so higher risk, but higher potential reward.
Exactly. You got to take some calculated risks to get those bigger payoffs.
Makes sense. Okay, so stocks over bonds, but how do we actually get started with investing?
So Rachel is all about diversification.
Diversification, tell me more.
She loves mutual funds and index funds.
Ooh, okay, those are buzzwords. I've heard those before, but I don't fully understand them.
So think of them as baskets of stocks
Okay,
that spread your risk across different companies and industries.
so you're not putting all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly. And it's a way to kind of ride the overall market growth.
Okay, I like it.
And within those categories, she really prefers index funds.
Index funds over mutual funds, why is that?
So index funds are the superheroes of passive investing.
Superheroes. Okay, I'm listening.
They track a specific market index, like the S&P 500,
Okay.
without any fancy and expensive fund manager making decisions.
So lower fees.
Lower fees, which can make a huge difference in your returns over time.
So she's all about keeping those costs low.
She is, and she has some really eye-opening examples in the book that show how even tiny percentage differences in fees can cost you thousands of dollars over the long run.
Thousands of dollars just from fees. That's crazy.
It is, yeah.
So index funds keep those fees low. And then what about ETFs? I've heard of those too.
So ETFs, or exchange-traded funds, offer that same diversification and passive management as index funds,
Okay.
but they're even more cost-effective and easy to trade.
Oh, so ETFs are like the streamlined tech-savvy cousins of index funds.
Exactly. They're like index funds on steroids.
Okay, ETFs. I like it.
So yeah, she's a big fan of those.
All right, so she's all about investing for the long term.
Yes.
Does she have any other specific investing rules that we should be following?
She does. She has 4 golden rules.
Okay, lay 'em on me.
Number 1, never sell when the market is down.
Don't panic sell.
Don't panic sell. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Right.
Those downturns are inevitable. You just got to ride them out.
So stay the course even when things get bumpy.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay, what's rule number 2?
Don't buy when the market is up.
Oh, so kind of the opposite of rule number 1?
It is, think of it like shopping, snag those bargains when the prices are low.
Okay, wait for those sales.
Yes,
Like-
patience is key.
Patience. Okay, what about rule number 3?
Rule number 3, hold your investments for at least a year, ideally much longer.
So give those investments time to grow.
Yeah, let them breathe. Let them work their magic.
Okay, rule number 4?
Don't micromanage your investments.
Oh, so don't constantly check your portfolio.
Exactly. It'll just stress you out and lead to impulsive decisions.
Right, so just trust the process.
Trust the process, set it, and forget it.
Okay, I like those rules. They seem pretty simple and straightforward.
They are.
Okay, so now that we've kind of gone over the basics of investing, how do we actually build a winning portfolio?
So she talks about this concept of market cap size, small, mid, and large.
Okay, I've heard those terms before, but I don't fully understand what they mean.
So market cap, or market capitalization, is basically a measure of a company's size.
Okay.
So smaller companies, or small cap stocks, tend to be riskier, but they have the potential for faster growth.
Okay, so higher risk, higher reward.
Exactly. They're like those scrappy startups that could become the next big thing.
Like the next Apple or Tesla.
Exactly.
That's exciting.
It is.
Okay, so small cap, mid cap, large cap, and how do those fit into an actual portfolio?
So Rachel recommends a pretty aggressive approach for those under 35.
Okay, I'm all ears.
25% domestic small cap stocks, 25% domestic mid cap stocks, 25% domestic large cap stocks, and 25% international stocks.
Okay, so she's really diversifying across different sizes and also geographic regions.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so that's a young person's portfolio. What about as we get older?
As you get closer to retirement, she recommends shifting toward more stable large cap stocks
Okay.
and incorporating bonds for a more conservative approach.
Makes sense. You don't want to be taking on as much risk when you're closer to retirement.
Exactly.
So it's like adjusting your sails as you get closer to your destination.
Exactly. A perfect analogy.
Okay, so she gives us these like portfolio allocations, but how do we actually know like which specific index funds or ETFs to invest in?
Well, she walks you through the process of finding specific funds.
Okay.
She breaks down those cryptic ticker symbols like a pro.
Oh, good, because those always confuse me.
She even gives you a specific example, IJR, which is the iShares Core S&P Small Cap ETF.
iShares Core S&P Small Cap ETF. Okay, so she gives you like the actual ticker symbol.
Yes, and she explains how to decipher those ticker symbols so you know exactly what you're investing in.
Okay, I like it.
And she debunks a common misconception that a lot of people have.
What's that?
Past performance data is not a crystal ball.
Interesting. Okay.
Just because a fund has performed well in the past doesn't guarantee you'll continue to do so in the future.
So don't get too caught up in those historical returns. Exactly.
It's all about making informed decisions based on your own risk tolerance, your time horizon, and your financial goals.
So do your research, but don't get stuck in the past.
Precisely.
Got it. Now, I know that Rachel primarily focuses on like stock market investing.
Yeah.
Does she talk at all about other types of investments like real estate or cryptocurrency?
She does touch on alternative investments like those,
Okay.
but she emphasizes that they come with a higher risk.
Okay, so proceed with caution.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. It's all about understanding the complexities and only investing what you could afford to lose.
That's a good reminder.
Yeah.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here, saving debt, credit, investing.
Yeah, we have.
Let's talk about the big R word, retirement planning.
Okay.
So Rachel throws out the traditional retirement script,
She does.
and she introduces this like daunting new number,
What's the number?
$2 million.
$2 million.
That's a lot of money.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially for those of us who maybe thought we could retire comfortably on a lot less.
Yeah. So is she saying that we all need $2 million to retire?
Well, she breaks down how much you would need to save each year
Okay.
to hit that $2 million goal, and it is a significant chunk of change.
Yikes. So start saving early, people.
Yes, start early and be consistent.
Okay. So that's a pretty daunting number, $2 million.
Yeah.
But does she offer any like alternative perspectives on retirement? Because I don't know if I'm going to hit that $2 million
Well,
one.
she does. She introduces this idea of achieving financial freedom through passive income.
Passive income. Oh, tell me more about that.
So think rental property, side hustles, investments that generate a steady stream of income without you having to actively work.
So it's like your money is working for you.
Exactly.
Even while you're like lounging on a beach somewhere.
Exactly. That's the dream, right?
Sign me up for that.
So it's not just about hitting a certain number in your retirement account. It's about creating a financial engine that works for you even when you're not working.
Okay. I love that perspective.
And she uses a real-life example of someone who owns rental properties that generate $1,100 in monthly passive income.
Wow. $1,100 a month just from rental properties. That's amazing.
It's inspiring, right?
Yeah.
It shows that you can create that financial freedom.
Okay. So passive income is the goal, but how do we actually get there?
So we've talked about saving and investing, but another important piece of the puzzle is understanding retirement accounts.
Okay.
And Rachel breaks down the two main types, 401ks and IRAs.
Right. 401ks, those are usually offered through your employer.
Exactly. And IRAs, or individual retirement accounts, are something you set up on your own.
Okay, got it. So 401ks and IRAs, and then there's also this whole traditional versus Roth thing.
Yes, there's a lot of acronyms and terminology.
Yeah, I always get those confused.
It's all about when you want to take that tax advantage.
Okay.
With traditional accounts, your contributions are tax deductible now.
So you get the tax break up front.
Exactly. But you'll pay taxes on the money when you withdraw it in retirement.
Okay, what about Roth accounts?
Roth accounts are the opposite. You pay taxes on the money you contribute now,
So you pay the taxes up front.
but your withdrawals in retirement are tax-free.
So it's like choosing between a tax break today or a tax break later.
Exactly. And she uses real-life examples of two individuals, Janice and Claire, to show how the best choice really depends on your individual situation.
Yeah, but predicting future tax brackets feels a bit like trying to predict the weather a year from now.
It does.
You never really know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
Okay, but one piece of advice that I think makes sense regardless of your tax situation
Yeah.
is to make sure you're getting the full employer match for your 401k.
Absolutely don't leave free money on the table.
Free money, yes, please.
Even if you're contributing to an IRA, max out that employer match.
Yeah.
It's one of the easiest ways to boost your retirement savings.
Okay, that's a good tip.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about retirement accounts, but before we move on, I have one more question about saving in general.
Okay.
A lot of people, myself included, struggle with actually increasing their income. Any advice on that front?
So Rachel has a lot of great tips in the book for boosting your income.
Okay.
And one that really stood out to me was her advice on negotiating a higher salary.
Ooh, negotiating a raise, that can be scary.
It can be, but she makes a really compelling case for why it's so important.
Okay.
She gives practical advice on how to research salary ranges for your position,
Okay.
how to prepare your talking points, and how to confidently advocate for your worth.
So it's about knowing your value and not being afraid to ask for what you deserve.
Exactly.
And even a small salary increase can make a big difference in your financial progress over time.
Absolutely. Every little bit counts.
Right, and all those extra earnings can go straight into those savings buckets.
Exactly. So remember your golden number.
Golden number.
Grow that number by increasing your income and decreasing your expenses.
I like it.
And that'll help you fill those buckets faster.
Okay, so it's not just about saving a certain percentage.
Right.
It's about actively finding ways to earn more and spend less.
Exactly.
Okay, I love it.
Yeah, it's about taking control.
You know what I really appreciate about Rachel is that she walks the walk.
She does.
She shares her own personal journey of financial transformation. She's not just some financial guru who's always had it all figured out.
Yo.
She's been there.
She's been in the trenches.
Exactly. And from selling Cutco knives
Yeah.
to meticulously tracking her expenses.
Yes, she's tried it all.
She's proven that these strategies actually work.
She's a real-life example of how you can take control of your finances and achieve financial freedom, even at a young age.
It's inspiring.
It is.
It's a reminder that financial success isn't about luck or inheritance. It's about making those conscious choices, developing good habits, and taking consistent action.
Yeah, she's all about taking action.
And Money Honey is like a roadmap to guide you along the way.
It is, and she breaks down those complex financial concepts into manageable steps, and she does it with her trademark wit and humor.
Yeah, she makes it fun.
She does.
So it's not so scary.
Exactly.
Okay, so before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I think it's important to emphasize that financial literacy isn't just about numbers. It's about freedom.
That's a great point.
It's about having the knowledge and the skills to make informed decisions about your money.
Yes.
And to create a more secure and fulfilling future.
It's about breaking free from financial anxiety and feeling empowered to pursue your dreams.
Exactly. So if you're ready to level up your financial game, Money Honey is an excellent resource to get you started.
It is. It's a book that can benefit anyone, regardless of your age, your income, your background.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Rachel's advice is timeless and relatable, and her approach is both practical and inspiring.
Awesome. Well, we've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive into Money Honey.
I have.
But we're just getting started.
Yes, there's so much more to uncover.
So stay tuned for part 2, where we'll delve deeper into Rachel's Dear Rachel Advice column.
Ooh, yes, that's a good one.
And share some of our own aha moments from this book.
I'm excited.
Me too. All right, we'll be right back after a quick break.
Welcome back to our deep dive into Money Honey. So before the break, we were just about to get into Rachel's Dear Rachel Advice column.
Yes, Dear Rachel. It's like having our own personal finance guru on speed dial.
It is. And you know what struck me as we were preparing for this episode?
What's that?
So many of these questions are ones that I've personally struggled with.
Oh, yeah, me too.
It's reassuring to know that I'm not alone in these financial dilemmas.
Totally. It makes you feel seen.
It does.
And your problems aren't unique.
Exactly.
So what are some of the big questions that Rachel tackles in this Dear Rachel section?
Well, one of the big ones is how to balance paying down debt while also saving for retirement.
Ugh, yes, that is the eternal struggle.
It is, especially when you're on a tight budget. It feels like this constant tug of war.
Totally. Where do you even begin?
Right. Do you attack the debt first or try to squirrel away some retirement savings?
It's tough.
It is. But Rachel offers some really practical advice.
Okay, I'm all ears.
She says if your employer offers a 401k match, Contribute enough to get that full match.
Okay, that makes sense. Free money.
It's free money. Don't leave it on the table.
All right, so snag that free money and then focus on the debt.
Exactly. But she also stresses that it's not always that black and white. If you're dealing with high-interest credit card debt, that should be your top priority.
Okay.
That interest can really snowball and sabotage your progress.
So you got to stop that bleeding first.
You do.
Okay, that makes sense. But what about those people who are just like drowning in credit card debt? They don't even know where to start.
Rachel's advice is to take a deep breath.
Okay.
And focus on building that emergency fund first.
Bucket number one.
Bucket number one, exactly.
Okay.
Having that financial cushion can prevent you from spiraling further into debt when those unexpected expenses inevitably pop up.
It's like putting on your own oxygen mask first before helping others.
Exactly. You got to take care of yourself first.
Okay. I like that analogy.
And then once you've got that emergency fund in place, she suggests exploring debt consolidation options.
Just consolidation, okay.
So, for example, consolidating your credit card debt into a personal loan with a lower interest rate.
Okay.
That can simplify your payments and potentially save you a ton of money in the long run.
So it's about finding a strategy that makes it feel manageable.
Exactly. You want to feel like you're taking back control instead of being controlled by the debt.
Right.
And I think that's really important for a lot of people who are struggling with debt.
Totally.
It's that mental and emotional aspect.
Yeah, it's not just about the numbers. It's about how the debt makes you feel.
Exactly. And Rachel gets that.
Yeah.
She encourages readers to celebrate those small victories along the way.
Okay, like what kind of small victory?
So even paying off a small credit card balance or hitting a savings milestone, those could be huge confidence boosters.
It's like giving yourself a little financial high five.
Exactly.
Like that.
Yeah, you got to celebrate those wins.
Okay, so celebrate the small wins and remember that it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly. There will be setbacks, but it's about learning from those experiences, adjusting your plan, and keeping your eye on the long-term goal.
Okay, so we've talked about debt. What are some of the other big questions that Rachel addresses in Dear Rachel?
Another common one is how to prioritize different savings goals when you're working with limited funds.
Oh, yeah, it's a tough one.
It is. Like, do you focus on saving for a down payment on a house or paying off those student loans?
Oh, so many people are facing that dilemma right now.
They are, and it's a tricky balance. But Rachel's advice is to look at the interest rates.
Okay, interest rates.
Always aim to minimize the interest you're paying and maximize the interest you're earning.
Okay, that makes sense.
So if your student loans have a higher interest rate than the interest you're earning on your savings, probably makes more sense to focus on paying down those loans first.
So it's like playing a strategic game of financial chess.
It is. You got to make those smart moves.
Right. Make sure your money is working as hard as it can for you.
Exactly.
You know, one of the things that really resonated with me from Money Honey is this idea of taking ownership of your financial journey.
Oh, absolutely.
It's so easy to feel intimidated by personal finance and just like avoid dealing with it altogether.
Yeah, especially when you're bombarded with all that financial jargon.
Right, and all the conflicting advice. It's like, who do you even trust?
Exactly. It can feel overwhelming.
But Rachel empowers readers to educate themselves.
Yes.
To understand the basics and become their own financial advocate.
And she makes that process feel approachable and achievable.
Yeah.
She breaks down those complex concepts into bite-sized pieces.
Yeah.
Uses real-life examples and relatable language.
So it's like having a financial translator by your side.
Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah, she really simplifies things.
Okay, so we've talked about taking ownership. We've talked about debt. We've talked about prioritizing savings goals. What else does Rachel cover in Dear Rachel?
Well, she also addresses the emotional side of financial challenges.
Okay, because it's not just about the numbers, right?
It's
about how those numbers make you feel.
Exactly. And dealing with debt can be incredibly stressful.
Yeah.
Even embarrassing.
Absolutely. It can really take a toll on your mental and emotional well-being.
It can. And Rachel gets that. She encourages readers to be kind to themselves.
Okay.
To practice self-compassion.
Self-compassion. I love that.
Yeah, she reminds them that everyone makes financial mistakes.
Yeah, we're all human.
Exactly. And that it's never too late to turn things around.
That's a good reminder.
And she also encourages readers to break down their goals into smaller, more manageable steps.
Okay, so make it feel less daunting.
Exactly.
And build that momentum.
Exactly.
I like that.
And she offers a really practical tip.
Oh, tell me.
She suggests setting up a visual reminder of your financial goals.
Oh, okay. So like a vision board?
Yeah, vision board or even just a simple sticky note on your mirror.
Got it.
Something to keep those goals front and center and fuel your motivation.
So you don't lose sight of what you're working toward.
Exactly.
Okay, I love that idea.
Yeah, it's a great way to stay focused.
Okay, so visual reminders, break down your goals, practice self-compassion. Any other gems from Dear Rachel?
Well, Rachel stresses that achieving financial stability is not just about having a perfect budget or making all the right financial moves.
Okay, so it's not about perfection.
It's not. It's about building a healthy relationship with money.
A healthy relationship with money. I like that.
Yeah, it's about shifting your mindset and developing a more positive and empowered approach to managing your finances.
Okay, so it's an ongoing process.
It is.
And it's about more than just the numbers.
Exactly.
It's about how you think and feel about money.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm really liking this Dear Rachel section.
Me too. It's full of practical advice and encouragement.
Yeah, and it really highlights Rachel's like personal touch and empathy.
She's not just spouting financial jargon.
Right.
She's connecting with readers on a human level.
I feel like she's like that friend who's always got your back.
She's like your financial cheerleader?
Exactly, and she's reminding us that we're all in this together.
We are.
Financial challenges are a part of life, but with the right knowledge and support,
Yeah.
we can overcome those obstacles and create a more secure and fulfilling financial future.
Absolutely.
All right, so that's Dear Rachel.
That's Dear Rachel.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
But there's still so much more to explore in Money Honey.
There is.
So stick around for part 3, where we'll delve deeper into Rachel's alternative definition of retirement.
Oh, yeah.
Unpack the nuances of those traditional versus Roth retirement accounts.
Okay.
And share some final takeaways from Money Honey to help you level up your financial game.
Sounds good. I'm excited for part 3.
Okay, so we're back for the final part of our deep dive into Money Honey, and I'm still like really intrigued by Rachel's whole take on retirement.
Yeah, she definitely challenges that traditional idea of like reaching a certain age and then just like clocking out.
Right. It's not just about stopping working. It's about achieving financial freedom. Yeah.
Having choices.
Exactly. And she makes this point that like this dream of financial freedom isn't just for like the super rich.
Right. Anyone can do it.
It's about being smart with your money and making those choices that set you up for success.
Exactly. It's about taking control of your finances, building those passive income streams, and designing a life that aligns with your values.
I love how she uses those real-life examples to show how it can actually work. Like, remember that example of her rental properties bringing in $1,100 a month in passive income?
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
It's inspiring, right? It shows that with some planning and effort, you can create a financial engine that works for you, even while you're off, like, pursuing your passions or traveling the world?
Yeah, exactly. You're not tied to a job. You have options.
Okay, so we've talked about this idea of financial freedom, but how do we actually get there?
Well, a big part of it is understanding those retirement accounts.
Right. We've touched on 401ks and IRAs.
Yeah.
But I think we need to like unpack those traditional versus Roth options a little bit more.
Yeah, because it can be confusing trying to decide which path to choose.
Totally. So can you break it down for me? Like, when would you choose a traditional account versus a Roth account?
So Rachel explains it in a way that finally made sense to me.
Okay.
It all comes down to when you want to take that tax advantage.
Oh, taxes.
Yeah. So with traditional accounts, you get the tax deduction up front,
Okay.
but you'll pay taxes when you withdraw the money in retirement.
So you're basically delaying those taxes.
Exactly. And with Roth accounts, it's the opposite. You pay taxes on the contributions now, but those withdrawals in retirement are tax-free.
So it's like choosing between a tax break today or a tax break later.
Exactly. And Rachel uses those examples of Janice and Claire, remember them,
Yeah.
to show how the best choice really depends on your individual situation.
Right. Like if you think you'll be in a lower tax bracket in retirement, a traditional account might make more sense.
Yeah, but if you expect to be in a higher tax bracket later, Roth could be the way to go.
But who knows what tax brackets are going to look like in like 20 or 30 years.
Right, it's like trying to predict the weather that far out.
Exactly. But regardless of which type of account you choose, one piece of advice that I think is super important
Yeah.
is to make sure you're getting that full employer match for your 401k.
Oh, absolutely free money, people.
Free money, yes, please.
Don't leave it on the table, even if you're also contributing to an IRA. Max out that employer match.
Yeah, it's one of the easiest ways to boost your retirement savings.
It really is.
Okay, and speaking of boosting your savings, Rachel offers a ton of great tips for increasing your income and cutting those unnecessary expenses.
Oh, yeah. She's got some great ideas.
And one that really stood out to me was her advice on negotiating a higher salary.
Oh, yeah. Negotiating a raise that can be 10 to 20% more than your base salary. That's a big one.
Oh,
Scary.
It can be, but she makes a really compelling case for why it's so important.
Okay, why is it so important?
Well, she points out that most people don't even ask for a raise.
That's true.
And she gives really practical advice on how to research salary ranges for your position, how to prepare your talking points, and how to confidently advocate for your worth.
So it's about knowing your value and not being afraid to ask for what you deserve.
Exactly. And even a small salary increase can make a big difference in your financial progress over time.
Absolutely, and those extra earnings can go straight into those savings buckets.
Exactly. So remember your golden number?
Golden number, yes.
Grow that number by increasing your income and decreasing your expenses.
And that'll help you reach your financial goals faster.
You know what I really appreciate about Rachel?
What's that?
Is that she walks the walk. She shares her own personal journey of financial transformation.
Oh, yeah. She's very transparent about her own experiences.
She's not just some financial guru who's always had it all figured out.
Right. She's been in the trenches.
Exactly. And like from selling Cutco knives to meticulously tracking her expenses, she's proven that these strategies actually work.
Yeah, she's a real-life example of how you can take control of your finances and achieve financial freedom even at a young age.
And it's a reminder that financial success isn't about luck or inheritance. It's about making those conscious choices, developing good habits, and taking consistent action.
Yeah, she's all about taking action.
And Money Honey is like that roadmap to guide you along the way.
It is. She breaks down those complex financial concepts into manageable steps.
Yeah.
And she does it with her trademark wit and humor.
It's not your typical boring finance book.
No, it's actually enjoyable to read.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive into Money Honey, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought.
Okay.
Financial literacy isn't just about numbers.
It's about freedom.
Exactly. It's about having the knowledge and the skills to make informed decisions about your money.
Yeah.
And to create a more secure and fulfilling future for yourself and your family.
It's about breaking free from financial anxiety and feeling empowered to pursue your dreams.
So if you're feeling lost or overwhelmed when it comes to your finances, know that you're not alone.
There are resources available to help you.
And Money Honey is a great place to start.
It is. Rachel's advice is timeless and relatable.
Yeah, and her approach is both practical and inspiring.
So we encourage you to check out the book.
And start taking control of your financial future today.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Money Honey.
We'll see you next time.